Hi, I'm with Tom Wolber, who is President and CEO of Crystal, and we're on board the Crystal Symphony, and we're going to talk a little bit about what's going on with Crystal today, and there is a lot. So please welcome Tom Wolber, and this is Insider Travel Report. Now, Tom, you got here about 7 months ago.
That's correct. Yeah.
And the biggest thing about this is that I think I've heard a lot of words here. We're actually on the travel your top sellers, the Travel Agent Gala for all the top Crystal sellers, and a word that I keep hearing is stabilization. Is that's been your strategy since you got here? Talk a little bit of what that means and what you've been trying to do.
Well, stabilization means actually exactly that. I mean, Crystal is a brand that evolved from 25 plus years of ocean-going travel with 2 ships, briefly 3 ships, and then back to 2 ships. And then all of a sudden got into this tremendous growth spurts where we expanded into yacht, we expanded into river cruising, we expanded into air, and we expanded into expedition, or planning at least for expedition. So all of a sudden, lots of things happening, lots of backbone systems that needed to be changed to accommodate that. And all of a sudden you have a lack of focus. People are trying to get everything done at the same time. And that is very, very hard. That is stressful on the trade partners, and it is stressful on the internal team. So what we need to do now is, as the river fleet has come out, as the yacht has come out, as the dry docks of the ocean-going ships are underway as we speak, we need to stabilize, calm the business down, let it settle in. Let's optimize what we added to the business, and let's get better at what we do with all these new experiences, whilst not forgetting about what made us so successful in the first place, and that's these ocean-going vessels.
Well, and let's talk about that, because we are on Crystal Symphony, which was just completely renovated. A lot of the public areas are different, new suites, new restaurants. Let's talk about the 2 existing ships and their importance to the brand and what you've done to them.
Well, we completely revitalized them. We reconcepted. We were the last luxury line to go to open seating dining, which gives much more opportunities to our guests to enjoy the ships, but also enjoy the entertainment that we offer on the ships. To do that, we added 2 new dining concepts: Silk, which is a Chinese family-style dining restaurant that we added, and the Churrascaria, which is a Brazilian steakhouse concept that we added to the ships. And with that, we reimagined the waterside, our main dining room, and we gave new life to the ship from a food and beverage point of view. We upgraded some of the existing lounges, and then, as you rightfully said, we upgraded quite a few of the suites, and whilst doing that, we reduced the overall guest counts on the existing ships. So we have actually a better space ratio per guest than we already had.
And what's the passenger count for both of the ships, or what will it be when you get through at the end of the year?
Well, the Serenity is slightly larger than the Symphony, but the Symphony is around 830, and the Serenity will be in the low 900s after she's done.
And so that means more space per guests, and actually I think you're adding crew, though, right?
Yeah, and we're adding slightly crew, so actually the crew to passenger ratio is improving, so that all these new concepts that we're putting in can be serviced in the way that Crystal does it, and that is with excellence.
Yeah, no, and they're great ships, and people think, you know, it doesn't feel like a ship that dates from the 90s, either one.
No, and that's exactly the idea. We are making these ships look like they're new, but also make sure that these ships are attractive and accessible for an audience of tomorrow. I mean, we have a very loyal Crystal fan base, our Crystal Society members that cruise with us, cruise after cruise. But we are bringing new blood into the family, and these ships have to please not just the existing cruisers, but they also have to be attractive for the the cruiser of tomorrow.
Yeah, well, and that's it. And you can bring more of those cruisers of tomorrow through maybe some of your new products that are coming online. Now, let's talk about the new ships that originally Crystal announced a few years ago, but you took a look at that and you've kind of revised the plan a bit. Talk a little bit about what this new, it's actually, you're calling it the Diamond class, right?
It's the Diamond class. That's what previously was known as the Executive class. The Executive class were ships that were supposed to be around 100,000 tons.
That's pretty large, right?
That is large, and it is frankly too large for the 6-star service and the luxury realm that we want to dominate, basically. And so the new Diamond class ships are going to be considerably smaller. They'll be around 65,000 tons with similar passenger counts as we see after the reimagination of the Serenity and the Symphony. And we're in the midst of the design, so we had to start from fresh. We had some GA iterations and we're working on getting that settled, and in some ways it'll be a revolutionary change, in some ways it'll be an evolutionary change.
So I said some of the many features that you already have on Serenity and Symphony are going to be on those ships as well, I would assume.
Yes, so of course the dining concepts, the things that made us what we are known for are going to remain. But we also are going to add new things, new features, new locations on these ships that are going to make these ships attractive for generations of cruisers to come, as well as provide the ships with the technology that can deliver on the Crystal service in a way that people haven't seen yet.
And of course, one thing that won't be there, I think you've talked about this, is the residences that were originally planned in the original, but you're not going to do residences at this point for the new ship, right?
No, right now we are studying the residences still further as a concept, but for the new ships currently that is not in the making.
Yeah. Now, in fact, I believe you're leaving here and going over to Europe to work on that new vessel. What is the timing of the first of the new vessels, and so far the only of the first, right?
It's only the first, and it's timed for 2022. But we're very hopeful to be able to bring out some more right on the tail of that.
Yeah. So, but meanwhile, we have these beautiful Crystal Serenity and Crystal Symphony that seem to be working pretty well for you, right?
Yeah, they are. Well, they are the core of the business. They are what is the backbone of what Crystal does. So it is something that we are paying very close attention to.
Now let's turn to rivers. You just took delivery of Crystal Ravel, and that is the 5th of your fleet, and so far there's nothing more planned for the moment. Talk a little bit about how that product has been accepted in the market.
It's actually phenomenal. If you really think about it, in 2016 we launched Crystal River Cruises with the Crystal Mozart, which was not a new build but a complete.
I was on it. It was beautiful, though.
Yeah, it is a beautiful ship. But then after that we started building 4 identical sister ships, and they are now all finished. But if you think about that, in 17 and 18 we've brought out 4 ships, in 16 1. So within 2 years we added 5 ships to the fleet and launched them with new crews, with new product on board. And it has been phenomenally well received. The guests are loving it. It is bringing luxury on the rivers to an entirely new level, and it was recognized in 2017 already by Travel and Leisure readers and awarded as the best river cruise, luxury river cruise line in the world, which is quite an achievement for the company after just one short year. Space available, people ought to come and book it, but again, it draws on the same principles as what we're using moving forward with the ocean-going ships.
Indeed, I think some of the venues, the Waterside Restaurant is now repeated now here on Symphony and will be on Serenity, and you have Waterside on all of your river ships.
Right, and the concept of providing generous public spaces, lower guest densities. I mean, there's no ship on the river that has fewer guests on board than our river ships.
Yeah, it's 106, right?
It's 106, and on the same ship footprint, all of our competitors put between 150 and 180 passengers. And we put more crew on there with them to service that. So it is truly that give me more space. Also, the suites are the most spacious on the river, so give me that space, give me that calm, give me that no waiting, no hassle type of an approach that works on the ocean so well. It works on the rivers, and it is something that we will be exploring as we move forward.
And I think you mentioned recently that you're seeing a lower age demographic on your river ships, right?
Yes, the rivers skew younger, but more importantly, half of the passengers that go on the river ships are new to the Crystal brand. They have never been on one of our ocean-going vessels. So the hope is that as they like what they are seeing on the river vessels, that when they want to take a voyage on the ocean, that they are going to opt for Crystal as their provider. And simultaneously, the other half are loyal Crystal followers, fans, that want to do other things in the world, have other travel experiences in the world, but would love to do it in the embrace of the brand that they come to love and trust. So now we can put them on the river with Crystal, and they are raving about it.
Now, the itineraries you offer now are mostly the Rhine, the Mosel, the Danube, of course, and rivers. At one point, I know you were looking at French rivers. Are you going to go back there?
Not with the existing class of ships, because frankly our ships are too big for the for the French rivers, and we have so much unmet potential still on the rivers that we're sailing. We're adding the Moselle River in 19, and we're doing new itineraries. Again, in the spirit of stabilization, we're gonna keep them for a while where they are, fine-tuning the product on board, fine-tuning the itineraries, and exploring that demand and how deep it is. And
fantastic. And then, of course, the other area you have expanded in very quickly is in the expedition yacht market. And first, you started with the Crystal Esprit.
Yes.
And how's that been going so far?
It's a great product. It's a yacht for 60 people, and it delivers again on the Crystal core values: great dining, great space, nice lounges, and very individualized, warm service. It skews younger even than River. It's a very active guest that likes to vacation on the Esprit. We have all the toys on board.
So it is a lower age demographic as well for this, because these are people who are a little more.
Yeah, absolutely. And 60% of them are new to Crystal. So again, it delivers new people to the brand, and that hopefully we will be able to get onto our ocean-going vessels as we bring out our new generation of vessels here.
Well, and you get the new generation, but you also have the new generation of expedition yacht with the new Crystal Endeavor coming out in 2020, right? And we just saw a lot of the plans for it, the suites, all of the different venues. It looks like a marvelous ship. Talk a little bit about the Endeavor and what you expect from that.
The Endeavor, again, is a game changer in the expedition field. As at 20,000 tons, it'll be the largest expedition vessel in the industry. But again, built for 100 suites, 200 passengers, and built to explore the outer limits of the world, having good cruise speeds. And you can do all of this. You can seek that adventure, have that great experience during the day, and then come back to a ship without having to compromise the luxury and the comfort that you have come to expect from Crystal. So we'll have the same range of restaurants on the expedition yacht as you will find on our ocean-going vessels, and even more than on the river. We will have the full complement of health club, retail.
Even a casino, I think, right?
Even a casino, yes. We have a small casino on the ship. We'll have a helicopter lounge. We have the library. We have a variety of lounges, a palm court. We have a solarium. It's going to be an absolutely spectacular, game-changing ship.
And plus, I saw the suites mock-up, and boy, those are some of the largest suites I've ever seen on an expedition yacht.
They are size-wise the largest suites that are going to be in the expedition industry. Yes.
So we'll look forward to that in 2020. And let me touch finally on your Crystal Air products. You have Crystal Luxury Air, which is sort of the plane you can take to get to these different products, and then you still have Crystal Air Cruise. Talk about what's going on with those things.
Well, Crystal Air Cruise right now is managed out of Hong Kong because that is much of the demographic that we are drawing upon and that we're serving, and it is mostly a chartered air business. We're putting some cruises together, air cruises together that we sell retail mostly in the Asian markets, but it is mostly a chartered product.
And that's the 777 that you got that you completely revamped, right?
That is it. The 777 with 80 phenomenal seats and a beautiful lounge, and it's a great product, and we are growing it. We're growing it through charter, and we're doing some new air itineraries as well.
Yeah, and then Crystal Luxury Air is something you still manage though, but it's to get passengers to different, either your river or your ocean, right?
Yeah, that is correct. And they are much smaller aircraft, and they really kind of are more providing us, our passengers, the option to travel in style to our ships, if you wish.
Yeah, no, I've actually been on Crystal Luxury Air a year ago. It was beautiful. It's wonderful service, and I did get a chance to see your air cruise that's now a charter. Now, I guess the final question I have for you is where do you see Crystal going, and where do you want to be a year from now?
A year from now, I want to be in a spot of calm that is the new platform to further grow the business. So, as I said, and as I explained, the 18 year is about stabilizing all our platforms, technology. We grew the staff quite a bit to service all these products, stabilize River with all the learnings that we have out of that business, and then we are getting ready to start launching the next generation of new products. The Expedition Yacht, I mean, it's a new product for Crystal. We have to prepare for that. We have to get that ready. And then the Diamond by that time will be getting very close to being built. And so that will set us up for introducing these elements into our core product successfully.
Right. And also, as I learned earlier today, you try to stabilize and improve even more your relationship with the travel agency community as well, right?
Absolutely. It's as we grow and as we expand on the offerings that we have, we need the travel trade to represent us, to sell us, to work with us on filling our ships and products across the globe. But equally important, we are providing a much wider range for them to go back to their luxury travelers and say, hey, you can all do this in one brand, and once you're in the brand, you'll never want to leave.
Yeah. Now, so 5 years from now, a lot of what you're planning will be out there, because by 2022 you'll have your first year new ships. Where do you want to be then?
Well, we're going to be looking at how we deploy this growing fleet of assets best around the world, optimize the itineraries for the different regions that we'll be deploying them in, look at how we can cross-utilize the assets, how can you combine a river itinerary with a ocean itinerary and things like that. There's still many luxury travelers around the world that we're not touching. I mean, you think about Australia, Asia, there's great potential for much wider deployment of our ships as we grow the fleet. So it's going to be an exciting business for many years to come.
Sounds like it, and it always seems to be exciting at Crystal, and I'm sure the last 7 months have been pretty exciting for you.
They have not been boring, let me put it that way.
Well, Tom, thank you very much for spending this time with us to explain what's going on with Crystal today. Good luck with the future. Good luck with the upcoming Serenity refurbishment, which sounds amazing, because this ship on the Symphony is wonderful. The river fleet's really doing well right now, and then we're looking forward to the new yacht, Expedition Yacht product, the Endeavor, and then ultimately to the first of the Diamond class.
I'm looking forward with that with you, and I will be sharing updates with you regularly.
Fantastic. I'm James Shillinglaw, and this is Insider Travel Report.